Have you ever felt like you're absorbing everyone else's problems? I bet you have. Like you're a sponge for other people's pain and emotions? Well, today's guest, Dewi Kauw, not only felt this, she discovered it was actually happening, and it nearly broke her before it made her stronger. Quick favour before we jump in, though, like I did in part one, please, if you're getting value from these conversations, smash the follow button, drop us a 5-star review and share this with your community. Your engagement doesn't just help the podcast, it helps people find the healing they desperately need. Anyway, welcome back to Leading Our Own Way. Our Own Way. Get my own podcast wrong. I'm Andrew White. I'm the host. If you don't already know me, if you're just tuning in, we've got millions of episodes. Please go back and tune into them. I'm sure you'll find one that you can touch with as well. Anyway, this is part 2 of my conversation with Dewi Kauw. We're picking up where we left off. We're diving deep into her spiritual awakening, her discovery of psychic abilities, and how her daughter's food sensitivities became the catalyst for everything. This is where Dewi's story gets really raw and real. Here's part 2. Enjoy. If you missed part 1, please go back though. It will make sense. Anyway, enjoy, and thanks for joining us. Did you ever look at like the genes? Did you ever do a gene test to see what her expression of genes was saying to go, right, well, her genes are not responding to these things that are in certain foods? Because no, you didn't do that. So you found out your answers. I mean, that's all that matters, isn't it? So
did you more like a food sensitivity test?
What did you say?
A food sensitivity test.
Oh, food. Yes. Yeah, and that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, of course, absolutely. And a lot of the problems in the world, outside of obviously movement and sleep, it's bloody food, isn't it? Food is a huge problem.
It is, yeah.
Especially all the fake, amazing, beautiful rubbish that we can eat. Because I love the rubbish, but I'm very aware of it now, So, I mean, how old is she now? Is she on a very, well, first of all, how old is she? And is she on a very strict, not diet, but is she just eating pure, natural, raw stuff now to make sure that, I don't know.
No, she's eating like a normal person now.
Oh, okay. So it's,
12.
Yeah, so go on.
Yeah, she's 12.
She's 12, yeah. And so she eats, what, the same rubbish as the rest of us, or does she eat pretty well?
Well, she eats basically normal food. We mostly cook at home. But she does eat junk food once in a while. She'll buy potato chips or something once in a while. But mostly, we mostly cook at home. We'll eat at home, and it's freshly made. Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, so because I live by an 80-20 rule now, and I mean, I don't even think the 20 does me any favors, because when I actually changed myself to 100%, pretty healthy food, I was the best optimal person. And then I went, right, well, you know what, I can't be too strict because I look like the crazy one otherwise. And I live by an 80-20 rule now. I'm probably more like 60-40, but I'm getting back to my 80-20. But even my 80-20, I could still feel not great. You know what I mean? Like if I have a block of chocolate 2 nights a week, I would say that's about 80-20. I was not, I still don't feel great. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad she's doing well now, though. That's amazing. So your spiritual side then. So this ventured off into a different direction that you never saw coming, or did you see coming?
None at all. None at all.
So you were like the rest of the world, where going, oh, were you thinking, oh, this is a bit woo-woo, and now I'm going, whoa, I'm really embracing this now. Okay. Come on, I'm interested. Go for it.
I remember being exposed to energy at Tony Robbins' UPW, one of his seminars, and Master Kauw, I think Stephen Kauw is his name, and he's doing a demo on energy, and he told us to feel with our hands and all that, and I could feel it. I was like, oh my gosh, all this time in movies, in cartoons or animes, I thought it's just a movie, right? But I could feel it. I was like, this is real. Energy is real, and I can feel it. I touch it, and I felt it. I felt auras. I felt energy, and he would do different exercises. I don't remember the details now, and I could feel it. So that's when I got even more intrigued. Okay, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's something more. So I began learning and finding out more information. Then that led me to many things. It led me to uh, learning about pranic healing. It led me to Mind Valley. And one day, out of the blue, I decided that, oh, I want to take Jeffrey Allen's duality class. I don't even know what that class is about, but it just had this thing like, you have to take the class. Okay, so I signed up. And it was the perfect class for me. That was exactly what I needed. So he teach the basic tools of meditation, and from there, I learned. I was at the peak state of my life. Like it was just amazing because I started meditating and I started healing. It was just amazing. And then the pandemic came, and I was at the top of my, I was like, whoa, on fire. Like, business is great, health, I'm doing great, everything's great. And when pandemic came, I'm like, oh, I should help people. So I began going on live every day, and I do sharing sessions about mindset, about abundance. And I do like a meditation with all of them, and then a lot of people joined me and they shared, what they're going through, and I listened to them and all that, and so that led into a small community. And I began doing 1 day workshops and then 3 day retreats and whatnot. So it went on for the rest of the year. And in December of 2020, I had my last retreat. It was a money abundance retreat. And at first, I thought I wouldn't be able to make it, but I somehow did. And on the last day, I remember I finished the whole thing. I was so proud of myself. I did it. Turned off Zoom, and I just shut down and I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And then after that, boom, I just shut down. Yeah, I couldn't
Why?
deal with anything else. Yeah.
Where did this
Shut.
come from then?
Turns out, now that I know better, turns out I was healing everyone. I didn't know. I didn't know what healing was. I was healing everyone and I was taking on everybody's pain. I didn't know how. I wasn't doing it right. The only way I know how to help someone is to take on their pain. So people will come to me and tell me all about, what's going on in their life, the pain that they're going through. And I'm like, and I'll listen and I'll absorb it and I'll try to fix it for them. I'll make them feel better. But I was taking on all the pain and I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to release it. I didn't know. I wasn't even supposed to take it in. I didn't know any better. So because of that, I shut down. And that's when I knew I don't think this is the right way of doing things. I was only helping 10 people, 12 people, maybe 15, maybe. And I already felt like I was dying. How am I supposed to help hundreds or thousands or millions of people? Like, there's no way I can achieve my life purpose, a life mission. I can't even help, 15 people without me feeling like I'm about to die. So that's when I knew that I'm not doing it right. Like, I'm missing something. Something's not right here. And then I remember one day I was re-listening to Jeffrey Allen's class and he mentioned the name Michael Tamura. And I was like, oh, okay, let's check him out. It was his teacher. And I found his website. And then I found one of his class that says, learn, what was it? Something about owning your psychic abilities or develop your psychic abilities to live your life purpose or something like that. I was like, okay, sign up right away. I wasn't even thinking. I just knew that this is it. I have to sign up, and I signed up. And never before that I thought psychic. Really? What's psychic? That's so woo. Like,
Yeah.
even though I had already learned meditation, healing, but psychic is a whole other thing. That's way
Next
off the
level.
charts.
What's the time frame, just before we go down that route, what was the time frame of taking on everyone's stuff and not being able to process it from the beginning part of that journey to the point where you're at now? What's that time frame?
So that was back in December 2020. And then I found Michael Tamura, I think January or February in 2021. And so now it's been 5 years, 5.5 years.
And And again, before we go on, going back to the retreats and the other things that you took on, is there a particular example that you can share with us that, and you feel comfortable sharing, obviously without saying names, and just an example of some of the heat that you took on from these people? Is there any journeys that you experienced and gone, holy shit, do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, I remember a few stories. One of them was so this person, she had a lot of issues with money,
Hmm.
because growing up her father passed away, and so it's just her and her mom, and her mom has to go to work, of course, so and would put her with, I don't know if it's a family or a friend or someone she trusts, basically. And little did she know that she was actually sexually abused for years by that, I don't know, again, cousin, friend. I don't know who that other
Yeah.
person was, but it's somebody they trusted. And of course, that girl was too scared to tell her mom. But she grew up with this hatred that my mom did this to me. She should have stayed at home. She should have protected me. She should have taken care of me. And I hate money because she had to work to find money. And because of money, all of this happened to me. So you can imagine when she grew up, she's very successful, but she always spends more than she makes because she hates it. Every time money comes in, I hate this.
Let's get rid of it, yeah. And feel
And
it's like they're
then,
getting a hit for her, isn't it? Getting a hit from spending the money because she hates it, but she's getting something out of it as a reward, maybe.
mm-hmm,
Not
mm-hmm.
a good reward, but you know what I mean?
Not, yeah, yeah. So she came to the retreat because she was in debt. She was spending more than she made. Again, because she hated it. Like when it comes in, it's like, no, I have to spend it, I have to spend it. So it's this impulsive spending and spending and spending. And she couldn't figure it out why until that day. And she shared with us the story, and yeah, yeah.
How did it, do you know how that ended for her? Was she able to move on after the retreat, or did she continue in her struggles? What was the relationship like with the mum, do you know?
So after the retreat, she began on her healing journey with her mom. And then shortly after, I sort of lost touch because I was shutting down everybody out. I
Yeah.
was shutting everybody out. Yeah. But I know that she went on this journey to heal her relationship with her mom. Yeah.
Oh, I hope so. I hope they're okay, because a mum, obviously a mum didn't intend for that to happen, but it's, yeah, that's that inner child speaking, isn't it? It's very, very sad. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that, because that paints a good picture of some of the people you were trying to help, but understanding the impacts on you at the same time. So thanks for sharing that one. So okay, so we're going into your spiritual side, and you're at the point where you're like, oh, this is weird, this is woo woo, but I'm going to dive deep into it. Where was that? What was that turning point like for you there? Then how did that look? How did you even know you
Wow.
were psychic as well? Like, is there
Yeah.
any examples there? I bet there'll be some juicy ones there.
Well, back then I didn't know what the psychic meant.
Yeah.
Turns out everybody is psychic. Now,
Mm.
now I know that everybody is. It's a matter of, do you realize or do you call that a psychic ability? You might call that imagination. You
Mm.
might call that a feeling, but all of that, those are all psychic abilities, pretty much. So from there, I learned so much. I learned that I was a very strong healer. Still am. I am. And that I was unconsciously healing everyone. I couldn't control it. So I was unconscious and I couldn't control it. So that was the biggest issue, because I would see someone and they're in pain, and then all of me just want to make that person feel better. I'll do whatever it takes to make that person feel better. And usually I'll know, oh, this is their issue. This is easy. You just have to do this, and this is it. Yep, done. I would know what to do. And of course, the person is still stuck. And then I would take on their issue and let me do this for you because it's easy.
It sounds like the
So,
leader that you were as well, doesn't it? It sounds like you're back as a different type of leader. We said this as the impact of you being, crying and breaking down. But how does this impact you and your life? Like even things like family and work, even like what goes on there for you? Because shutting down like this. I mean, when I shut down, I didn't want to go to work. I was in bed till 5 to 8, and I had to leave till 8 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? I was counting the
Mhm.
hours down until I could get home and get back into bed because I didn't want to be around. What went
Mhm.
on for you there?
I couldn't go to work for 2.5 years.
And
It
you
took
had your
me.
own business, and people just didn't see
Mhm.
you at the office for 2.5 years.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Wow.
It took a lot just for me to get to the office. I'll come in once in a while, like I don't know, once in a few months or so. I just completely shut down. I don't take any calls. I don't take any meetings. I just basically disappeared.
So the
Yeah.
colleagues were running the business for you, essentially there?
Mhm. Mhm.
And were you
Yeah.
at home? Were you working from
I
home,
was
or
at home.
were you working at home, or were you just, I suppose,
Nope.
not being sensitive, but insensitive, but were you just depressed at home?
I was just depressed at home. Yeah. I
So if I
wasn't
was a fly on
working.
the wall, you would what, lying on the couch? Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
What did I do? Let me think. I knew that I didn't want to meet anyone, so I was mostly at home. And it was also the pandemic time, so we're all
Oh
at home
yeah.
anyway,
Oh okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was doing a lot of sports, so I go outside and I ran at the park. There's a park just outside of the house.
Oh, at
So
least you
I'll
were
run
doing
every
that.
day.
Yeah.
I was doing that every day. I'll run 10 kilo a day. And then yeah, and then I didn't do much. I didn't want to do anything basically because I was just so lost. I felt like I don't know who I am. I was questioning everything. I questioned my decisions. I questioned why I even started the business. I questioned my marriage. I questioned everything. It's like, how do I know that that's what I really want? Because it turns out I was so psychic and I was actually I ended up fooling what other people want from me instead of what I actually want. For example, like if I hear, I don't know, for example, um, let's say I'm hiring someone, and then I'll hear like, hire me, and then I'll hire the person, and I realize that no, I should not have hired this person. It was something like that. So I was
Yeah, man.
creating a lot of things, but it wasn't what I wanted, and I felt used. So I was so scared to meet people, and I just thought maybe what if I don't even want a business? Maybe I thought I wanted it, but I don't. So I thought maybe I should just shut down the business. Maybe, it was all those things. I was questioning everything. And the biggest part was I was in so much pain because I felt used. I felt like I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my decisions. I didn't trust my intuition. I didn't trust my feelings. And I used to love to give. I love helping. I love giving. And I stopped completely. I'm all gived out. Like, no more giving. I'm a mean Devi now. I'm being selfish, like, no more, no more, no more. So then I thought, then who am I? Who am I if I'm not giving, if I'm not helping? Then who am I? I lost my sense of identity. Oh boy, it was bad. It was bad. It took me years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's a difference between giving and helping, isn't there? Like if you're giving yourself, as you said before, even as the leader example, giving answers, giving away, giving the solutions all the time, and gifting them, whether it's money, whether it's gifts, whether it's, I don't know, but whereas you're helping and supporting, it's like your brain's completing that loop, and that's compassion, isn't it? And that's what we all really innate in all of us is if we can show compassion, um, and fulfill that full need, our brains actually thrive and survive off that. Whereas if you're over empathetic and you're showing empathy constantly, that's actually quite detrimental on the body and the mind. That's a huge
It
problem.
does.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be empathetic, but if you never move yourself into a physical sense to help somebody, you can never finish that full loop, and it actually causes quite a lot of problems, doesn't it? Do you find, were you more? Do you think you were more empathetic then than you were compassionate? If you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it was more sympathy, not
Oh,
empathy.
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
Because
Well, yeah. There's three circles, isn't there? Sympathy,
yeah,
empathy, and compassion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
it's very different now that I learned it's very different. So sympathy, it's like feeling bad for the person, and you kind of feel bad for them. But when you come from empathy, it actually comes from the hearts of feeling. Sympathy is from feeling, so from your second chakra, there where the feelings are. But empathy comes from the heart. And empathy, it means you're loving someone, you're allowing them to be where they're at without trying to fix them, without
Yes.
trying to change them. Just
Mm-hmm.
let them where they're at.
Mm.
And that's love. What I had before wasn't love. That was me getting fulfillment or my self-worth from the identity of, oh, I'm helping someone. And the more I help someone, the more I'm worthy. And it was a childhood picture. So when I was young, I remember my parents would, oh, look at her, look at Dewi, she's so thoughtful, she's so nice. And my sense of self worth goes up when I do something nice, when I help someone. So I identified with that. Like when you help someone, you're more worthy. When you help someone, you're, yeah. So
Makes
that was
sense.
that. So I had to separate from that. Like you're worthy because you are you. It doesn't matter. It's not because you give someone or you help someone, then you becomes more worthy. It doesn't work that way. So I have to detach from that identity. And what if you don't? If you don't give, does that mean you're no longer worthy? You're no longer good enough? So
Mm.
I have to detach from that game. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's part of it.
it makes sense. It's filling in those gaps there, and I can understand why you went on that particular journey. Okay, so let's get back to when you were listening to Jeffrey Ellen and Michael. You said Michael, right? You mentioned
Michael
Michael.
Toon.
Let's go from there then, because I think that's where we kind of left off, didn't we? Before, where did that journey take you then with the psychic part of your journey?
So that journey took me to BPI, Berkeley Psychic Institute. Michael was born a psychic, and at his early age, I don't know exactly how old, maybe 20s, he met the founder of BPI, Louis Bostwick, and Louis sort of helped him so that he can own more of his abilities. He didn't know that he's different from everyone else. So from Michael, from a very young age, he see colors, energies, auras, just like we see normal things. So he didn't know that everybody don't see that.
Mm.
um, so Lois sort of helped him with owning his abilities and using that to help other people as well. And so Michael joined BPI for a very long time. And then he sort of branched out on his own. That's when I found him with his own school. But Michael said, look, you're just starting out. It's better for you to go to BPI because they have the support system, they have the structure, they have the basic classes. And what he does is more advanced stuff. Like once you graduate, you can come back and, we can do more stuff together, more advanced healings and whatnot. But for now, just go to BPI. So that then took me to Berkeley Psychic Institute, where I developed and learned all of these things. Yeah.
Mm. And because I remember writing a note, I've got a note here to ask you to elaborate on the story around the real deal. Does that ring a bell to you?
The what?
The real deal. I wrote a note to say ask you to elaborate on the story with the PPI, and it was about the real deal. Like he.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I remember now.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, because otherwise I would have sounded crazy.
So when I signed up for the first class everybody needs to take is called Meditation 1.
Mhm.
And so I thought, okay, I'll start from the beginning, Meditation 1. It was exactly what Jeffrey Ellen taught. I was like, oh, I know all this stuff, like basic stuff. I got this. And I didn't know, I guess I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't know what is this school, like who are these people? I don't really trust them. I was very skeptical. So
As we all
anyway,
would
one
be.
day, mhm,
Mm.
one day we were learning about grounding. So you have to create a grounding cord. And so the teacher said, oh, you can create whatever you want. And so she gives some examples. And then I remember one of the students created a grounding cord that looks like an elephant with the long trunk. um, and of course, that student did not say it out loud. And during class, the teachers would they call it energy checks to see if you're doing it right. And they'll give you some adjustment and input so you can make it better. And so the teacher was saying, "Oh, I see this long trunk. It kind of looks like an elephant." And the student laughed. Yeah, that's exactly it. So I was like, "Huh, interesting." That is so exact. But I thought, okay, it might be just a lucky thing. I wasn't really buying it. And then it was my turn, and I remember the teacher would say something so specific that, okay, she's really saying this, like, this is not made up, because there's no way she could get it down to that specific level. So what she said was, we were learning how to run your earth energy, and they call it earth energy and cosmic energy. And you're supposed to sit on a chair with your feet touching the ground. But I was sitting on my bed. So I had my feet, curled up in a lotus position. And in my head, I would see the energy flowing down to where my butt and my legs touch the bed, and it would stop there. Because I would just imagine, oh, it would just flow down the feet and it'll be done. Logically, that's what I thought. So I would imagine it going to that level, to the bed level, and be done. And then the teacher said, this is so strange. Like, you're doing everything right. For some reason, the energy is not flowing down to your feet. And I just started laughing because that's exactly how I pictured it in my head. It was that specific.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And since then, of course, more and more and more specific things. So I knew, like, yeah, that was the real deal.
Yeah, wow.
That's
So,
amazing.
so for you then, on a personal level, is there any examples you can share where, I think you mentioned it before, like, because last time we met online, the first time we met you in a cafe, and we brought up in that scenario that you would be in a cafe, and you'd sense and feel what people were going through, and it became kind of detrimental to you. Is that right? Explain a little bit about that.
So, growing up, I sort of used my second chakra, which is the feeling, the emotions, the clairsentience. That's how I use my ability. And actually, a lot of people do that. They use the feeling part. And you can tell when you talk to someone what words they use. Do they say, I feel, that's using the second chakra? Or they might say, oh, I see. So they're using their six because they're seeing. And sometimes they go, I know. So they're using their seven because they're knowing. So from the words that people use, you sort of know which chakra they use the most. And for me, it was my feeling. So I was feel, 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 feel. And when you feel too much, you open up the chakra too much. And if you don't know how to close it back, or you don't know how to control it, then you end up feeling everything. So I would go, let's say, to a cafe, and I would feel all the energy. And at that time, you might not realize it yet, but when you get home, then suddenly I'll feel angry. And then if people ask, why are you so angry? I don't know why I'm so angry. I'm just so angry. So it turns out I would absorb somebody's anger. Maybe there's somebody being angry in the cafe, and I'll absorb that energy. I'll take it home with me, and then I'll be angry for the rest of the day, even though I don't know why. It was something like that. Or it could be the other way. It could be somebody was feeling sad, and then I'll be like, oh, I feel so sad. My life is so bad. Like, oh, and then I'll be crying, and my husband like, what now? I don't know why I'm crying, but I feel so bad. And then he's like, yo, here she goes again.
Oh, God. I bet he's thinking, bloody hell, I need to leave this one.
Here we go again. And that went on and on.
So what, again, did you have to put a boundary up there then for yourself? How do you stop that?
So you have to learn basically to, number one, you have to call back your energy, your aura, so you're not so big and feeling everything and everyone. And then you learn to put boundaries so that you're not absorbing everything like a sponge. And then you learn to protect yourself, make separations from different people, different energies. So again, you're not constantly feeling and absorbing other people's. I have to learn to not heal everyone, and to do so, I have to heal myself, because it turns out the reason why you're healing everyone is because you have a matching pain, and really what you want is to heal yourself. but because you didn't know you have that pain, um, you end up trying so hard to fix that other person, but really you want to fix yourself. You want to heal yourself. So I have
Mm.
to heal myself so that I can get neutral to people. Like now I can meet people and I can be okay. You know, like they'll be crying and I feel fine. I'll feel normal. In the past, I'll be like, oh, yeah, what do we do? You know, I'll be crying with
Yeah.
them. I mean, I still do sometimes because you do feel you do feel some emotions, but at least I don't get stuck. In the past, I would get stuck. I'll be feeling sad for the next 2 days. I'm still thinking about that person. Oh, what can I do? How can I help? You know, I'll be stuck with that. So now I learn how to detach, and I also learned how to they call it owning your abilities and your chakra. So you can turn it on and turn it off as needed. Like, for
Mm.
example, I can turn it on when I need to see clairvoyantly, and when I don't need, I turn it off so you don't have to see all the time. And the same thing with hearing. I turn it off so I don't hear things all the time, and then when I need, I can turn it on. So it's
Yeah.
having that ownership. It makes a huge difference. If not, I think I'll go crazy.
So you feel like you've conquered that aspect of the turning on and off. Then you feel like you're doing a good job at that.
Well, maybe not 100%, but
Mm.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
A work in progress still slightly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I forgot the question I was going to ask now. Um, is um, is there? Oh my god, I've completely gone blank at what I was going to ask you. Chakra. You said the word chakra a few times. For those who don't know what a chakra is, I've had it. I've had a guest on. I think two guests of my, whatever number I'm up to now, and we've mentioned chakra a few times. But for those who are listening and not listen to those episodes, just quickly give us an explanation of what a chakra is,
Okay.
please.
Basically, a chakra is an energy center that is in your space. That's what it basically is.
Yeah.
It's more complex than that. There are many layers, and each layer has different purposes and meanings, and la 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 la. But the most basic part, it helps to govern your energy. It helps to govern your physical, all of it, your health, everything. It's part of it.
Yeah. All right, cool. It clears it up for me a little bit. It's been a while since I've had this type of conversation. You did share an example with a friend before we come to the end. You did share an example with me last time where you met a friend, and once they'd left, that in because of your abilities with your psychic abilities, that conversation carried on. I remember you saying something like that to me. Can you just elaborate and make that clear for me again?
Yes, yes. So, like, for example, you meet someone and you have a nice conversation, and then you both went home, and then you'll be at home, you'll be in the shower, you'll be eating dinner, whatever, and you feel like you're still having a conversation with that friend. It's like it's still going on, or
Mm.
you're playing things in your mind and seeing that person and talking to that person, and your mind is still talking, talking, talking. So basically, what's happening is you are actually speaking with her, but energy to energy, or telepathy, I guess you can put it that way. That's basically what it is. So, and usually with that, you have to make separations. There's like a cord stuck, or there's something that's still connecting the two of you. So you have to unplug. And in the past, I didn't know how to do that. So I'll have
Yeah.
people constantly jumping into my head and talking to me about stuff that I don't even want to know and I don't even want to hear. Um, so
Are they aware that they're doing this, though? Are they aware that they're doing this?
no, most of the time, no. I do
I
have
hope I
one
don't.
friend.
Yeah.
She's sensitive enough, so she is aware.
Oh, oh my
Yeah.
lord. I'm going to send you a message after this show and see if you, and you'll have to message me if it comes through. Huh? There we go.
So what's funny is that so she's my business partner, and she'll say stuff to me, and then right after she said it, I'll get it, and then I'll text her, and she's like, "Oh, you got it."
I love that. Oh man, I wish we had more time. You could do something right here, right now. Well, that's a good idea. With my former guest Renee Marie here in Sydney, Australia, we did an episode on her journey, and then we did a whole episode where she had a psychic reading. And I am like you, like I don't trust this, I don't get it, blah blah. But when it's you and you're experiencing it, like there's nothing else to not believe, right? And she brought up two names on a pre-chat, and I wish I was recording it, but I swear to you, I'm not an actor. But she said two names of my mum's best friends who had passed away. And this is Jean and Pam. Like, Jean and Pam are not popular names anymore. And to get the combination right, and they both died in the last 10 years since I've been in Australia. Headset came off, flew off, jumped up, tears to me. I was like, how the fuck do you can get your Gene and Pam? I was freaking out. So we decided from that we'll do a 2-part, and we did it. And on that second part, yes, I shared that story, and I wish that story was on there as the part of it, but all we could do was just share that what had happened privately. But what she did do live was she brought up many different things, but a fancy costume that I wore growing up, and I'd worn a few. And I know you can get it. I know you can get this right, but she nailed the pirate suit that I was wearing, the pirate costume. So we got my mum live on the call. Boom. Verified it, and then she sent me the picture, and when I edited it, I put the picture of the costume up so everyone could see it. It was phenomenal. Insane. It's on Leading Our Own Way. Anyway, we should do something. If you're happy to come back in the next few months, we should do something.
I am happy to do so. That would be a fun episode.
It would be very fun. It would be very fun. Not to put you on the spot, but it would be very, very fun. So finishing this loop then of your journey, where we at in terms of your the spiritual psychic side of things? Are you now pursuing that as a career as well? Where you're taking that and how you're utilizing it?
So yes, absolutely. So now I am pursuing that as a business as well. It's really to build a community, because I feel like when I was going through that, I had no one. My family didn't understand what was going on with me. They thought I'm crazy. And I grew up being very religious. I'm a Christian. So I thought there's something wrong with me. Why am I hearing all these things? Why am I seeing all these things? I didn't know what I was going through. So having a community is a huge part of maybe why I could get through, because there were a lot of things that happened, and we probably need another 3 hours to get through all the things that happened to me.
We can do another part another day.
Yeah. Having the community made a difference, because people actually understood what I was going through, because they too were going through something similar. Maybe not quite the same, but something similar. So what I want to do now is to help, those who are going through what I went through 5 years ago or 5 years ago, and just being there for them, and having this community where they can actually heal themselves, they can transform their life, and they can actually create the life that they want. So that's part of what I'm doing now.
Beautiful. And just quickly then, so because that sounds quite heartfelt, I think you want to say. How are your family now with this journey that you're on in that side? Are they still thinking what they first thought, or are they embracing it now?
Yes. So it turns out my children are all very psychic.
No way. That's amazing.
I have lots of stories. I'll share them next time.
Give me one. Can you give me one?
Okay.
Go on then.
So one day, my youngest, Claire, she says to me, "Okay, mommy, so in school, I like to leave the body." I go, "Okay. Yeah, school is so boring. So sometimes I get bored, so I just leave the body." I was like, "Okay." And then she said, "When I leave the body, there's another being who comes into my body." I was like, "Okay, what do you mean?" "Well, her name is Layla." "Layla?" And she goes, "Yeah, how do you know? How do you know what her name is?" "Oh, I talked to her." "You talked to her?" "Yeah." "And she told you her name is Layla?" "Yeah." And then she goes on and on describing Layla and how she's like, blah, blah, blah. So here I am. How do I explain to her? How do I tell her that it's not very good to let a being take over your body, even though you're bored? So I was trying to find the right words to tell her. I said, you might want to rethink this. Well, she said, it's fine. It's just school. She can do the boring part. I'll do the fun part. I said, "Oh, okay." So then that was that. And then we finished the conversation and moved on to some other thing. So I'm still thinking like, what do I say to her? How do I explain to an 8-year-old, and then anyway, a couple days later, she goes, Mommy, Layla is no longer using my body. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, so what happened? Well, I decided that it's not a good thing. Maybe I shouldn't let her use my body. I was like, okay, all right, that's good, that's good. A few days later, she was playing with my iPad, um, and then she found this picture that she drew a while back. She already forgotten about it, and the thing came up. It was Layla. She drew a picture of Layla a while back.
So she
Pigtails.
recognized it.
And then she wrote the name Layla. And she goes, Mommy, look, it's Layla. And I just got goosebumps even now.
Oh my God. That's crazy. So, and then wow. And so she's moved on from that now and it just
She
stopped.
moved on. It just stopped. Yeah.
Wow. I thought you were going to say there was a picture of image came up on and that was Layla, like a real image of a person and she recognized it, like a family member or something that had passed and
Oh,
like,
no.
no.
She drew. She
She
drew it
drew.
out.
Amazing. That's incredible though. Oh my Lord.
And
Wow.
there are many,
Fascinating.
many more stories.
Wow. Oh man, we should have got there earlier. Incredible. Wow. So I can see what you're doing there with that business. That's fantastic. That's amazing. Wow. Wow. Jeez. So okay, if there's anything that we've missed from your journey that you think we should have spoke about, and we might have covered everything, but is there anything that you think should be shared today that we might have
I
missed?
would like to share one more thing.
Sure.
And it's
Go for
part
it.
of a more recent thing for me. So, if any of you who are listening to this episode and going through some kind of financial things, what I went through was as I grow and I change and I um, evolved, I found that the old way of doing things no longer works. So in the past, for example, I would do this and this for my business, and boom, it would work, right? And now if I do the same exact thing, it doesn't work. So I'm going, what's wrong? Why? Why is it not working? Why is it not working? So I realized that at some point, really, all you need to do is move to the next step, whatever the next step is for you, because everybody's different. In the past, I remember after I graduated from college, I was in survival. So I would find work or create money from survival, and it would work. But after some time, it no longer worked because I'm no longer in survival. So I had to find something else. And then I found a passion, like the skincare business. It was a passion. So that worked. And then I grew and then I went on to something else. And then I grew to the next stage and the next stage. And then the last part was now my lesson is how do you create from the heart? And I didn't know how. I knew how to create from survival. I knew how to create from passion. I know how to create from doing it, yourself and all these things. I didn't know how to create from the heart because that means you have to open up your heart. You have to heal all the pain that's in your heart. So then I began on that journey, like the leading with the heart. I think that's where we started from, leading
Yeah.
from the heart, right? So I did the work. I realized as I look into my heart, oh my gosh, I'm still storing this pain. Oh my gosh, I still have this pain, this wound, all these things. I have to really work on it layer by layer and all that. And then at one point, I did all the work. I release what I need to release. I forgive whoever I need to forgive, right? All of that's done. And I go, and then what? What do I need to do? And this is when the magic happens. You don't have to do anything. You really, literally, once you figured out what was it that was blocking it, all you have to do was release it and then magic happens. And that was literally what happened to me. So I thought, okay, I've done this. Okay, and then now what? And then boom, like a sales came through. Boom, a client signed up. Boom, like I was literally not doing anything. All I did was heal myself. So that's what I want to share to everyone. And you could be at different stages, in your life. But the point is, wherever you're at, you just have to do at that stage, whatever it is. It could be the passion stage, right? So you just have to follow your passion. It could be um, finding yourself stage where you have to overcome your fears and your limiting beliefs, wherever you are. As long as you do the work and get that done, then money, abundance just come. It's that easy. That's what I want to share.
I'm still waiting. I'm hoping. I'm doing it. I'm on my journey. I love it. That's good. No, beautiful way to end. Dewey, absolutely beautiful way to end. Thank you so much. I love it. Okay, that was a great piece of advice, and that was actually one of my 3 final questions. So, future plans. And the reason why I asked this question is because just because we're here on the Leading Our Own Way podcast doesn't mean we've made it, doesn't mean we're done, we've finished, the journey's ended, and life's glory, and we go on into the distance, into the sunset. No, we're still going to go through things, right? What are the future plans for you?
So my future plans is to continue building that community. Of course, continue working on the factory, and continue to lead with my heart. So that's my future plans.
Love it. Love it. And my final question is, what is your purpose? It's pretty clear by now what your purpose is, but I always ask the guest to put it into one powerful line to end in a beautiful way. So what is your purpose, Dewey?
My purpose is to heal myself so that in turns inspire others to heal themselves.
You thought that through, didn't you?
Because I was finding what's a good way to describe it without going on and on and on and on and on. So I think that fits beautifully.
Beautiful. Thank you. What a great journey. I hope to get you back on the podcast to dive even deeper into your spiritual side. I think it will be an exciting part. We should definitely probably meet later in the year and do something else if you'd like to join me back again.
I would love that. I would love that.
Beautiful. Thanks for joining me on my journey. Thanks for leading our own way. Thanks for you leading your own way, more importantly. And it's been a great chat, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I know people will be able to take pieces away and put it into their life and however that might fit. And you never know, you might have awakened some people out there to look into themselves in areas that they never thought they would, you know?
Thank you so much, Andy. It's been a real pleasure. I'm very grateful to be here. And I'm really, really grateful that you're doing this podcast. Because I think a lot of people need this right now.
That means a lot. I hope so. If I can help one person per episode, I'm more than happy with that. So I feel like that's part of my purpose now. So I appreciate your kind words. Thank you. Well, to everybody who's joined in today and caught up with us both, we've had a great episode. Please share this episode to wherever you may help your friends, your family, whoever. But until next weekend, keep coming back, keep leading your own way. Have a great weekend and come back for another amazing guest next week here on Leading Our Own Way. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you soon. Dewey's journey from understanding her daughter's food sensitivities to awakening her own psychic abilities. Now, we've been on a journey, haven't we, this week? This is crazy. It's so good. And that's the kind of transformation that gives me goosebumps every single time. The way she talks about creating from the heart and the power of community and healing is exactly why we do this show. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, take one thing Dewey shared today and implement it in this week of your life, right? Maybe it's starting a daily practice. Maybe it's examining what energy you're absorbing from others. Or maybe it's just being more intentional about creating from the heart. Then come back and tell us all about it in a review. That would be amazing. Or comment on any social networks. And please share this episode. Someone in your network is struggling with exactly what Dewey overcame. Your share, though, could be their breakthrough moment. Tag us at Leading Our Own Way when you do. I read every single message. Thank you for being part of this community, for choosing growth over comfort, and for leading your own way. Until next time, remember, your story has the power to change life, starting with your own. Keep going now, keep growing, and keep leading your own way. We'll see you next week for another amazing guest, another amazing journey to share. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening and watching Leading Our Own Way. So we can stay together forever and share more incredible journeys, please subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss next week's episode and what that amazing guest has to offer to the world. Please support Leading Our Own Way, and we'll get you on next week's episode.